Greetings, Sagittarians, and welcome to my YouTube channel, One Who Sees Tarot. Sagittarians, this is a general reading for the middle of the month of August 2017. And as I said, this is a general reading for those of us born in the sign of Sagittarius. The Spirit has already been invoked, and I have anointed the cards and shuffled and cut the cards according to the amount of times that the Spirit has given me direction. I always mention the Spirit in every reading first because I want to give acknowledgement and respect to the fact that my cards have a spirit guide. This is not my doing. These cards actually no longer belong to me. I have given them back to the Spirit that gave them to me. And so we look to our spirit guide for truth and for clarity. Sagittarians, with your permission, may I begin? I looked at your cards in the beginning, and I was saying that I was really feeling good about the dynamics that I'm seeing for Sagittarians. Sagittarians, I do see where you have been working out, you have been working on your body, keeping physically fit. That has been a part of your past dynamic, and that's good. I see you actually as being pretty strong in the past, at least. And I do see where there might be a need to work on that strength because there is some debilitating factors taking place right now in your dynamic. There's something going on with your health, and you're going to have to work on that. Either it's overwork and not getting enough rest, or you're not taking the appropriate nourishments or that type of thing. But you're coming from a place of strength, but right now your strength, you're feeling a little weak and a little tired. Sagittarian family members, I do see where money is being offered to you. There's going to be a money offer, and that is confirmed in two different places. I do see that. Money's getting ready to be offered to you. Money's getting ready to flow quite nicely in your particular energy for the end of this month. I do see where the Spirit is advising you, though, although you're going to get some money, be mindful about your saving and your budgeting your money. Because I do see where savings is going to be depleted, and particularly if you're not mindful, money-minded. So this is a specific energy for Sagittarian family members as we end this month. This has not been the energy for every sign, but this is the energy for you. Be mindful. You are getting ready to get some money. Money is getting ready to come to you, but be mindful about savings and budgeting. You are going through a change, some of you, and this change is good. There's a cycle of your life, actually, that is ending, and a new cycle is beginning. It's sort of like the dynamics in numerology between a 9 and a 1 year. This is like a 9 year for you. I'm not being numerological specifically. You would have to get a private reading for that. But I'm saying that the energy is the type of energy like a 9. So it's like an ending. It's like, you may keep some things in your life as you go forward. But in reality, overall, for Sagittarians, this is an ending of a cycle. Sort of like a resting period so that you could begin again as you move into the next phase of your life. Some of you who are looking for love, please be mindful that love is being offered to you. I was touching the money card. That's why my mind went on money. But love is being offered to you, but you are kind of like so busy working, so busy in your zone that you're actually not seeing it. So for those of you that are looking for love, open your eyes and look around you. It's right there. As I shared with you a few moments ago, your strength, I do see some challenges with your strength. I don't see it as a permanent state. I don't see it as a state that really requires any medical attention necessarily. I don't see it that way right here. What I do see is strength in the way of perhaps you're working too many hours, that type of thing, or perhaps you've been worried or working or pensive, or you've not been getting the right nourishment. So those are the kind of things that I see as far as your strength. I do see where you are going to make, or you are making some really, really good decisions about your future, and that's good. That has something to do, I guess, with the ending of this cycle and going into the new cycle. I do need to advise you, though, that there is some selfish energy in your environment. There's a selfish energy, and this might be a good selfish energy. In other words, it might be an energy that is good for you, Sagittarians, for you to be a little more selfish and to be a little more focused on you, as opposed to the entire world trying to give and help and be for everybody. So that kind of energy is real. It doesn't seem as if it's a negative selfish energy. So I would say then that the way this energy is being presented, the way the Spirit is laying this card, it's for you, Sagittarian family members, to be a little more self-centered as far as paying attention to yourself. And that could go right back to that diet and nourishment and getting some rest, etc. For some of you who are curious about your future as far as long range is concerned, you are heading in the right direction. So what you're doing with your life is leading you down the right destiny path, Sagittarians. Congratulations on that. Remain consistent on your job. Oh, very good. And another confirmation card. The Spirit is so real and powerful. I just mentioned that as you are moving down your destiny path, you are making the right decisions, and the Spirit laid another card out right in front of me, and this card is the long-range planning card. This card says that as you're thinking about your future, you are thinking clearly. The plans that you are putting in place, particularly those plans or those consistent actions that relate to work, that consistency. Some of you are nearing retirement, and some of you are just about on your last leg of retirement, moving towards that. And you're ready to go into your pension stage, and you're ready to go into your fulfillment of living type of stage. That's what I would like to call it. The Spirit is showing me where you are being mindful. You know, you're aware, as I mentioned a few moments ago about your health and about your diet. You are aware of it. It's not something that's catching you by surprise. The Spirit does show me, Sagittarians, you really are in a good place. And I'm glad to see that. I really am glad to see that Sagittarians are in a good place right now, because sometimes people go through things and sometimes it's emotional and breakups and that type of thing. I don't really see that so far for Sagittarians, so that's a good thing, Sagittarians. You're kind of whole right now, and so this is a good cycle. Some of you are being positively influenced by a masculine energy. There seems to be a sense of wisdom around you, and it seems like it's coming from a masculine energy. There has been some unfairness. There has been some unfairness for some of you, and I believe that is going to be changed. I believe there's going to be a change in that. I think there's going to be a balance that's going to bring about fairness and fair play and equality, that type of thing. So Sagittarians, you actually know who you are more than I do. The Spirit is showing me, the Spirit is showing me that you should be mindful. As I shared with you a moment ago about that change, there is a change going on in your life. The universe is aware of it. So if you're looking at your life and you're saying, what's going on? What's going on is the end of a cycle so that a new cycle can begin. There is a change. Embrace the change. There's a structural change. Embrace it. Go back to your wisdom. Go back to your experience. Rely on your own repertoire of experiences so you can look at what you're currently going through and what you will be going through in the not too distant future, and you'll be able to say, okay, I could just buckle my seatbelts and ride this one out, because I know that it's not going to stay this way. Now, some of you, as I mentioned about that money being offered to you, money flowing freely. Well, I want you to understand that this is a cycle. So in this cycle right now, money's being offered. In this cycle, money is going to begin to flow freely. This cycle is not going to be permanent and eternal. So in other words, as you move into the next phase, you might get some news about money, you know, as I told you about making sure you save and budget. Don't just spend all of your extra. Don't spend all of your resources, because as you move into the next phase of your life, or the next phase, the next phase of your destiny path, things might get a little tight for you, Sagittarians. So tuck a little bit aside and be prepared. That's the purpose for listening to the readings, so you can have some insight into the future. Be prepared for some tight moments as it relates to money. So in other words, I know that in my experience as a younger person, I would participate in games of chance. So let's say that I win some money on Monday, and then Tuesday I say, oh, I'm going to try and win double. Well, that's not the wise thing to do. Whatever you come into in the way of money for this cycle, put some of it away, because the future is not going to be necessarily that fortuitous. I'm not saying that it's going to be bad. What I'm saying is that this is your stroke of good fortune right now. In your future, there's a need for you to budget, okay? Okay, Sagittarians, this is not the time. Yeah, and the Spirit just showed me another card indicating budget, so I'm accurate. Very good. Thank you, Spirit. Sagittarians, this is a time for new beginnings for you. This is a time for, as I said, a cycle is ending. This is a time for new beginnings. This is not the time to relocate. This is not the time to move to another condo, house, apartment, dormitory room, renting a room, friend's house, whatever your living arrangements are. This is not the time to relocate for you Sagittarians. Now that may change. Some of you might be desirous of relocating. Some of you might feel the need to relocate. Remain consistent on your job and in your living arrangements for the moment. Let's go forward. Yeah, some of you do feel stuck, and some of you are dealing with some conflict. Some of you feel a lot of energy that you feel the energy is against you. You feel as if you're working under some friction. Well, I want you to know that people on your job, particularly those people who are supervisors and who are managers, actually are looking at you in admiration. So actually, you're getting ready to be recommended or referred to another position, quite possibly, because I do see an up. You're going up in the way of jobs, in the way of income. So this is a blessed time for Sagittarians. Sagittarian family members, particularly those of you that are the female energy, I do see you coming to a place of financial stability. I also remind you once again, tuck some of that money away, because in the future, that assistance will not necessarily flow as freely for you. Sagittarian family members, some of you are getting ready to deal with a legal, official, governmental matter. It could even be a contract. Be very mindful during this cycle. And I would say this cycle it's like a Mercury retrograde type of a cycle. So be mindful of contracts right now. Be mindful of governmental and official types of things, because those things are not going to work out in your favor right now in this cycle, Sagittarians. Those of you that are wise and are listening, if you can postpone the contract, if you can postpone the legal presentation or the official presentation of documents, etc. If you can postpone it for a few weeks, you might be in a better place in the universe, okay? Some of you need to exercise your own options and make some moves for yourself as it relates to love. So that's the only interesting, because your spread was so nice about money and jobs, etc., and a cycle change. But as you move forward, don't worry about love if love goes in a different direction. I'm sure that will turn around as you move into the next cycle of your life and your destiny path. Sagittarian family members, you do need to exercise some options. You do need to see things for how they really are. You need to accept things for as they really are. Sometimes we all would like to look at life, or I should say sometimes I look at life through rosy-colored glasses, and I see people and situations for what I want them to be. And that may not in fact be who and what it really is. And so, Sagittarian family, the Spirit is advising me to tell you that you must see life for what it really is. You are getting ready to enter into a very fortuitous, positive cycle. The next cycle right after that might be a little bit tighter financially. So be mindful of that. Some of you are getting ready to, as I said, there's great news for you. There's good stuff happening for you. There's some new beginnings going on for you. Part of those new beginnings is going to present some options for you. And you might be presented with some wonderful new opportunities that at first might look and might appear to be uncomfortable. Of course, new is uncomfortable many times. Sagittarian family members, it would benefit you greatly to come in for a reading during this particular new moon cycle, especially because of this magnificent multiplied energy of newness and fresh starts. Sagittarian family members, if you'd like to book a private reading, please reach out to me at onewhosees4you@yahoo.com. That's onewhosees4you@yahoo.com. Be more than happy to provide a personal, up close and personal private reading for Sagittarian family members. Bless you, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Look forward to providing those readings. Thank you.